The women, jeez, the football, yeah.
What do you find the American people to be like?
Friendly and full of hope and positivity.
Very hospitable, very helpful, great fun.
Really communicative, you know, talk, and everybody wants to have a chat and talk to you. And we love the US. Greatest country in the world.
I was really amazed of the hospitality here in Texas. The people are really friendly.
And everybody's been super hospitable and friendly.
You got any single friends?
I do. I have plenty.
I just want a passport, you see. But I'm not bad to hang out with, too.
And so what do you think of Texas?
Oh, Texas is great. Very, very good steak. Buffalo steak was wow.
You found the people in Texas to be so far?
Very polite. Friendliest people we've seen since I've been here. We've got lovely people. Makes want to move over here, but we can't, so it's fine.
So much more friendlier. Everyone in London's miserable because the weather's rubbish. It's raining all the time. But everyone is lovely. The sun's out. It's great. It's so good.
Americans, surely you see this now. It's been weeks. You must realise that you guys literally live on heaven on earth, right? From the Walmarts that you can walk into and just build an entire life. You can literally walk out of your house and just walk into the sunset and find a Walmart and buy an entire new life from scratch. Like, you can duplicate your life in a supermarket. This is not possible anywhere else in the world. If there are any Americans out there that don't like America, and I cannot fathom why that would be possible, please DM me and I will swap lives with you. I would give my left leg, my ability to walk, I would cut off a hand to live in America. You have no idea what you've got and how lucky you are, but I do, and I will take that in a heartbeat. So please, somebody get me and my wife to America right now.
All right, guys, so I have more pro-America, pro-USA, Independence Day content to inject into our veins. Yes, that is the type of time that I'm on all day long, is consuming pro-America content. We got a whole lot more to discuss with you guys, this time involving the World Cup. As we all know, the World Cup has basically shown that a lot of foreigners had misconceptions about the United States, right? A lot of people thought that this country was a bad country, that people were being murdered and shot all over the place, and that it was homophobic, bigoted, hateful, racist, and that's not the case, okay? In fact, we're seeing a lot of tributes to this country. A lot of individuals, a lot of fans, a lot of foreigners come to this country, and they're shocked. They're surprised by the hospitality that they have been welcomed to in this country. And it really is something to behold, okay? There's no reason why foreigners who come to this country can appreciate this country more than the people who actually live here. But that is what we see.
Oh, and just so we're abundantly clear, July 4th is not the 250th anniversary of America becoming an independent country. July 4th is the 250th anniversary of America stealing this nation, stealing this land from Native people while simultaneously spreading disease to those Native people, killing and raping those Native people to be able to call America their home. I love you.
Are you proud to be an American?
I think I'm likely to be the most American person on this panel. My relatives have fought in every war that Americans have ever fought, including the Civil War, where my ancestors fought in segregated United Color troops for their own freedom and the freedom of all Black people in America. There's been a lot of talk about the Founding Fathers, but birthright citizenship comes from the 14th Amendment, which was established after the Civil War to give Black Americans who had been brought here via chattel slavery citizenship rights in the country that they had been brought to against their will. The Statue of Liberty, a symbol that has become synonymous with immigration rights, was actually gifted by France to the United States to commemorate the end of slavery. So understandably, my feelings about this country to which I was brought, my ancestors were brought as slaves, is complicated. But I think what's beautiful about America, the promise of America, is that it can become a more perfect union. That's what the preamble to the Constitution asks of us, to continue to endeavor to become better. And while I think it's healthy and good to have pride in one's country, I lived overseas as a kid and found myself defending America from all kinds of insults all the time. I have a deep cultural affection for this country. My whole culture of people was invented and formed and is uniquely American as a Black American. I think that it would be a mistake to stop endeavoring to make the country better and to live up to the promise of its ideals.
That's a very good answer, but I've noticed you haven't actually answered the question. Are you proud to be an American right now?
You know, it's really hard, Pierce, right now when our country is synonymous with executing a genocide that has killed hundreds of thousands of people on the other side of the world. So there are aspects of being an American that I am very
You're a
proud
beautiful
of.
girl.
And there are
I'm so
other
sorry
aspects
for
of being an
interrupting.
American that I'm very ashamed
Hang
of right now, to be honest.
Are you proud to be an American or not? That's
hang
it.
on, Brianna. Were you proud to be an American under Barack Obama?
Not in particular. I mean, to me, it wasn't. Barack Obama had deep flaws and failings, including executing a drone war and being the
So which
deporter-in-chief.
president were you proud to be an American under?
I think that my pride in being American has less to do with our political leadership, which is often
Well, give
very
me a time
disappointing.
period when
And
you were
wait a
proud
minute,
to be an American.
I'm proud in relationship to my fellow countrymen.
No, I get it. But
And the beauty,
which
but in
period
the
of your
beauty
life
what
as
the
an
people-
American?
Sad to
All
watch.
right,
And look, the beauty-
Brianna, which period of your
Pierce.
life as an American, you spoke very eloquently about your family fighting in all the wars, very impressive. But at which period of your life would you have answered yes to the question, are you
Pierce, 'cause
proud
there's
to be an
moments
American?
every single day of my life, there are moments that I'm proud to be an American. I
That's
had a
not the
beautiful
same.
interaction.
That's not the same.
Good.
Fuck that!
Fuck that!
Fuck the fort!
Fuck the fort!
Fuck the fort!
Fuck the fort!
We choose the world!
We choose the world!
We choose the world!
We choose every city, every region!
Fuck the fort!
The whole damn world says!
Fuck the fort!
Every city, every region!
Fuck the fort!
The whole damn world says!
Fuck the fort!
Every city, every region!
Fuck the fort!
The whole damn world says!
Fuck the fort! In this country, people took up arms. Some even gave their lives fighting the British Army. Since then, America has grown from a handful of settler colonies to a massive empire whose reach spans across the globe. But why did this happen? And who did it benefit? The leaders of this revolution were a class of slaveholders, rich businessmen, and property holders who thought that black people, who thought that women and the land itself were nothing more than tools to make themselves richer and richer. We call this class the bourgeoisie, and ever since they founded this country, the people of the world have suffered 250 years of mass murder.
Meanwhile,
I know that it's trendy to dump on America and critique the place that we call home, but I just watched Spain's national team. They made a video for Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it was a thank you because they had been based there during their time here for the World Cup. And look, maybe you've never been to Chattanooga, Tennessee, coming from Georgia. I've been there plenty of times. It was beautiful. It's incredible to watch people from the outside come into a place that you are so familiar with and remind you what a gem you have and what a privilege it is to live here. I've watched Bosnians in Seattle walk through the streets. I've never even been to the Pacific Northwest and make me think like, yeah, I should go out there. But the Pacific Northwest, especially during the fall, is absolutely beautiful. I've seen fans in Texas and they're in that Buc-ee's gas station that's like the same expansive space as a Walmart Supercenter. And I've thought, my God, I would like to experience that kind of America. People eating barbecue in Kansas City. I just feel the World Cup, and I'm thinking about it more, especially as people are like getting eliminated and they're leaving and they're talking about their experiences visiting here. Like, do you remember when your cousin or like one of your friends was able to come over and do a sleepover and you would just be like, yes, I love it here. This is the best. And then they would leave and you feel this longing for the time that you had together. That's how I already feel. And we're not even done with the World Cup. I'm just like, I'm so happy that we hosted it here. I know there was so much hoopla. I know people were dreading it. And I know that we can at times, especially I work in politics, we can at times feel a frustration with this country or complicated feelings, but I wouldn't live anywhere else, y'all. This whole experience with the World Cup to me has been amazing to get to experience other people experiencing America, sometimes for the first time. I don't care if some of it was propaganda. I don't care if some of them were ops. I don't care if it was a plant. I loved every single fan that has gotten to experience America. It has inspired me to explore more of America. And yeah, Team USA, let's fucking go.
Yeah, so you see now, you heard that. While leftists are unappreciative and boohoo whining crying about our great country, right? A country that they refuse to leave. You have some people who actually do appreciate this country for what it is, and they're refusing to leave because they love the country, right? And I think that actually makes more sense than the people who are refusing to leave despite hating the country, hating the founding of this country. And that leads me to this German World Cup fan who actually broke down in tears because he refused to leave this country, right? He extended the trip after his team got eliminated from the World Cup because of his experience, right? Because of the hospitality and the treatment that he experienced in this country. He thought that this country was a scary place. He believed all the leftist lies about this country, right? But he came here and he experienced it. And he was like, oh, wait, this is not that at all. And he doesn't want to leave, right? He extended his trip. And I want to play this clip because, again, I think that this type of content is exactly what I want to consume and share on Independence Day. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Well, it is a long-held stereotype that us New Englanders may come across to other cities as cold, maybe even rude to some people. But for many World Cup fans, visiting our area, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yes. Our NBC 10's Oscar Margáin spoke with a German soccer fan who was initially, he was kind of hesitant about coming here to America, but after what he's experienced here, he no longer wants to leave.
Sorry. It makes you teary. Why? Help us understand. Why is it so impactful to you?
Sebastian Krause never imagined his trip to America would be so emotional.
Yeah. No, you're human. Happy tears.
In just a few weeks being here,
I fall in love with this country, and this was so emotional. I even cried in the stadium.
It's a huge departure from what he was expecting before traveling to follow the German soccer team in its World Cup run.
To be honest, I was a bit scared or had the fear to travel to the United States. News about shootings and criminals and that the country is not safe. Bob takes us home.
Well, I'm gonna keep it a whole buck with you. Some parts of these liberal cities are definitely not safe, right? But again, this idea that you're gonna experience a mass shooting being here in the United States is ridiculous, right? Again, the mass shootings, they do happen in these liberal cities, but they happen in the ghetto parts, right? I mean, sometimes they do happen in the not so ghetto parts, but again, it's not as prevalent as people would like to believe, right? It's not as common as the mainstream liberal media makes it out to be.
It's great. America is great.
Sebastian met a group of strangers who offered him a ride to his hotel.
What is the best city?
Boston.
That's Bob Series and his family, New Englanders who showed a group of Germans that Boston is warmer than some might believe.
Bob, thank you. Love USA.
Enjoy your time in the U.S.
To me, I watched the video by myself maybe 40 times. I had tears in my eyes.
Sebastian was more upset about the prospect of leaving America than Germany being eliminated from the tournament. That kindness he experienced is also what many locals and transplants have lived as well.
I loved living here. I thought the people were always so kind.
People here are very polite.
The World Cup just made it easier for folks to see.
I certainly talk to a lot more strangers than I normally do.
And you think it's because of the World Cup?
I do.
Americans are not rude, Germans are not rude. If we are together, we can achieve great things.
Sebastian's going to be sticking around for a little longer. He's going to spend the 4th of July in Washington, D.C. Then he goes back home to Germany to his family and friends. He's going to be telling them all about our country. And as for our Good Samaritan Bob, I spoke with him over the phone. He says that he's just trying to pay back all the kindness that he received when he traveled the world. And he agrees New England and Boston are actually a friendly place. Reporting from Boston, Oscar Margáin, NBC 10 Boston.
Well, all's well that ends well. Oscar, thank you.
Yeah. So you seen that, you heard that. I don't think this guy's going to want to leave after July 4th, right? I don't know about you guys, but I feel like after spending Independence Day here, okay, participating in all the festivities, eating the food, right, enjoying what America has to offer, air conditioning, right, air conditioning, that's a big one. I don't think he's going to want to leave. Now, hey, eventually got to go back, but at the same time, it just blows my mind that you have people who come to this country who, again, have not experienced this country before. And again, they're just in awe, right? At how great this country is. But yet you have people who actually are here, who have lived here their whole lives, and they can't appreciate it for what it is. And this is why I tell people, I encourage a lot of these people, you got to travel, right? You got to get out of the country. You got to go to these other places. You got to go to Europe. You got to go to South America. You got to go to Asia, Middle East, whatever, like Africa. You have to go to these places. You have to travel, because if you don't travel, then it's hard to appreciate it, right? So I kind of get it in the sense that, if you're somebody who has been raised here your whole life, I think that, you take things like air conditioning for granted, right? Things like, for example, having electricity all the time, right? Having Wi-Fi all the time, or, being able to flush toilet paper, right? Not having to deal with, the terrible infrastructure that a lot of these other countries have to deal with. Ultimately at the end of the day, we have a lot of stuff in this country that people just don't really appreciate. And again, when you have foreigners come here, again, they're shocked at, again, some of the stuff that we have that, again, we take for granted. And, it's just one of those things where you just take a step back and you say, wow, the World Cup happening during the 250th birthday of this country, I think is a blessing, right? I think that it was the perfect time. We were the perfect country to host it at this time. And quite honestly, I love what I have been seeing on the internet, some of the reactions that I've been seeing. And I hope that ultimately at the end of the day, for foreigners, it helps erase some misconceptions about this country. And hopefully some of these leftists get to actually leave and to travel and to understand just how blessed they are to be American. And, ultimately, I'm hoping that is what comes out of this, right? Seeing these reactions makes me believe that world peace is actually possible, right? With understanding of each other. I think that eventually, maybe, just maybe, that can happen. Maybe we can achieve that. But who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.